The Wave is a disaster movie about a gigantic tsunami threatening to wipe out a small town where tourist season is at its peak. When eventually the mountain pass collapses into the fjord, triggering the disaster, the population has only mere minutes to get to higher ground before the wave engulfs the entire area. Our main character is an expert geologist who had been predicting the disaster for a while and who is now in a race against time to save his family. Sounds pretty much like your typical disaster movie, right? Well, to be honest, it kind of is. But why it's not so typical and why I think you shouldn't just turn away from this simply because you might not be the biggest fan of this type of movie is because, first and foremost, this is a Norwegian film. Which, of course, first and foremost means that not only does it have at least between like 20 to 30 times less the budget than that of your standard disaster film coming out of the US, usually directed by such hacks as Michael Bay or Roland Emmerich. It also has a lot more heart, and what's more, allegedly it is based on actual science, and not just some mumbo-jumbo, pseudo-science-y bullshit predictions of impending doom. Similar rockslide tsunamis are known to have devastated Norwegian towns before twice, and the village where the film takes place actually exists, and the imminent disaster, the way it is presented in the film, is considered by scientists to be an absolute certainty. They just don't know when it is going to happen. Now, if some fucking lunatic is not blowing up buildings or shooting kids, Norway is usually considered to be a very safe place to live in. But apparently they aren't without their problems of their own. One of them being this one, nature coming in and kicking their asses. Speaking of nature, the film really seems to indulge itself in some of Norway's absolutely stunning landscapes. I think there is a scene in which our main character, our geologist guy, is traveling via helicopter, and the scene feels particularly long because nothing is really happening actually. I think it was just simply an excuse to show us these landscapes. But I didn't mind it at all. Actually, I thought it was quite a breath of fresh air. I mean, like, how many fucking times can we see like these gigantic metropolises being blown up or being destroyed by natural disasters? I mean, I don't like cities anyway, I think they're ugly. Seeing a place so beautiful as this and knowing what's going to come, it kind of gave me a different vibe, you know what I mean? The film actually takes its sweet time in making you care about what's going on much more than a film like 2012 would do. Because the big disaster doesn't really happen until at least like halfway through the film. You get to spend so much time before that with the characters, getting to know them, getting to care about them, and getting to see them discuss this imminent threat, that by the time it happens, it actually feels very impactful. And I think it's really cool that the film feels the need to take its time because unlike something like Everest or The Impossible, like those are films based on events that actually happened, based on people that actually existed and went through them. Those are films that seem to focus much more on the disaster itself as it unfolded or the aftermath, when these family members are trying to find each other. The Wave feels like it is something that feels the need to explore a lot more because it is about a disaster that hasn't happened yet. This is the sort of film that's more of a technical achievement than anything else. The special effects are very good. Like, the wave obviously is computer generated. I don't think they could have done it any way else. But it looks very good. And all of the sets they had to build, like after the wave passes, we get to explore a little bit like the surroundings, the town, the buildings, the cars, the buses, the streets. All of those are like look incredible. It's very haunting, very eerie, it feels very real. And it's also an actor's achievement. I mean, the acting is very good. The actors allegedly were very adamant about performing their own stunts, and the main actor actually trained himself to be able to keep his breath underwater for 3 minutes. That's fucking dedication there, man. And yes, you do believe that this is actually a family. You do believe that these people have known each other all their lives, and there aren't just some strangers who met each other on set. So that's it basically. I recommend it. If you like films like Everest and The Impossible, like I said, then you will like this. Yes, it is a popcorn flick, essentially, and that's something quite unusual for European cinema, but hey, if it's done with taste, if it's executed so well, why the fuck not? Thanks for watching my review, folks. As always, I will see you later with other reviews, as always. Until then, take care and goodbye.